Hi, I'm Marie Lockwood. Thanks for joining me here today at Cakes, Cooking, and More. Today we have a nice hearty pasta. It's mushroom, spinach, and sausage. I hope you enjoy it. Let's see what we need. Okay, so for this recipe, we're going to use 2 tablespoons of cream cheese that we've pre-softened. Took about 10 seconds in the microwave. We have a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. We have a teaspoon of basil. Here we have 1½ cups of mozzarella shredded cheese. We have 2 garlic cloves that have been minced up. And here we have 10 ounces of fresh chopped spinach that we squeezed all of the juice out because you don't want any of that juice left. And then on the mushrooms, these are just the pre-sliced mushrooms that you can buy. And there is 8 ounces of those. We have 16 ounces of cooked angel hair pasta. And then a little bit of olive oil. I use the extra virgin olive oil. It tastes a little better. And then you're going to also need 8 ounces of cooked sausage. Okay, so we're going to take our pan and turn that on. And we're just going to put a little bit of olive oil, about 2 tablespoons. Don't need a whole lot. And then you're going to add your mushroom. We're just going to saute those really quick. So we need those done before we do anything else. And then we'll be back. Okay, now that our mushrooms are starting to brown, soften a little bit, we're going to add our garlic. Okay, and you just want to give that about 30 seconds and a good stir. You don't want to do it too long, your garlic will burn. Make sure it's pretty well mixed. Okay, now we're going to add our little bit of basil. Got a little mix, and our spinach. And you just want to do this till your spinach is nice and warm and kind of softened. It'll be somewhat soft because you defrosted it, but you want to kind of, it'll clump up until it's really soft, and then it'll kind of spread out a little bit better. So that's really what you want. It's just where it'll mix a little better into everything else. And you do want to stir pretty often because, like I said, you don't want that garlic to burn in there. Okay. Probably want to give this another minute. And then we'll be back. Now that that has softened well, we're kind of mixed in a little better. You're going to take your pre-cooked sausage and add that in. Do make sure that you've drained that before you add it. You don't want all that grease in your food. Just want to stir it up a little bit more. Okay, now at this time, we're going to add our cream cheese. And this is just going to give us a nice little bit of creaminess to our pasta. You just want to kind of stir that in until it's nice and melted. Take around a minute or so. Okay, now we're going to add our mozzarella. And again, this is mostly to give it a nice creaminess to it. Just want to mix that. You want that mozzarella to start to melt, but you don't want it completely melted. I want some of it to melt onto the noodles. Just keep stirring. That'll keep everything from sticking to the bottom or burning. Okay, now we're going to add our Parmesan. You just want to lightly sprinkle that all over. And then just go back to your stirring. You want to make sure that everything is warm enough to melt. So I actually have mine about medium heat. Not too hot so that I burn anything, but not too low that nothing cooks. Your cheese should be starting to melt and look a little stringy. And just keep stirring so that nothing burns to the bottom. Once you've got that nice and melted, you're just going to take your pasta noodle. Like I said, this is just angel hair pasta that we've cooked. And it does tend to clump up a little bit, but you're going to be stirring that in quite well, so that will start to separate. Okay, you just want to stir from the bottom up. Pull all your vegetables up on top and get your noodles down into the bottom there. And your cheese will just start to melt into your noodles. And it did look like a lot of topping, but after you add in your noodles, it's not quite as much as it looked like before. Okay, so we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so at this point, you'll see that the cheese is melting nicely in. And what you're going to do is just take half a stick of butter. I'm going to put that in there. We're just going to use that to make it a little more creamy. I'm going to make a spot to get your butter down in there so it'll melt. Okay, now that this is all mixed in well, we're going to turn this down to low, and we're going to put the lid on. We're going to let this simmer for about 5 minutes. You'll want to stir occasionally so that nothing burns or sticks to the bottom, and we'll be back to serve it up. And there you have it, our nice hearty pasta with mushroom, spinach, and sausage. I'm Marie Lockwood. Thanks for joining me today here at Cakes Cooking and More. Have a great day.